my Notes Oracle DB YouTube channel. So I really apologize for that video we have uploaded about that pgBackRest uh, tutorial of installation part. So I was trying to figure it out that audio, but it seems to be a glitch while doing editing. So I'm trying to recreate the same video with a few other details as well. So I have already covered about that full backup and restoration and point in time recovery. So in this video we are going to discuss about the what is a pgBackRest and features, and when to use the pgBackRest, and before we need to look into that installation of pgBackRest. So those details we are going to cover in detail. So what is a pgBackRest? So as a Oracle DBA, most of them aware. So when you are going for to take a backup, so the backup, which means I'm talking about physical backup. So there is a tool name called rman. So that rman, what it will do, it will take a full backup, incremental backup, and differential backup. But when comes to the Postgres, prior Postgres version 17, if you are going to take a backup, physical backup, so you have to take a entire cluster only through the pg based backup. Okay, so when comes native backups, so there was a limitation, but in 17 onwards there was a feature which been added, so you can able to create incremental backup, robust and scalable system efficiency handling of large databases and heavy workloads. Okay, so what are the features are there? So we understood the pgBackRest is a backup tool which is created for backup and restoration purpose, and handling it can app capable of handling a large databases. Okay, so now if I want to understand what are the key features or parallel processing, pgBackRest leverages parallel operations for backup and restore process, significantly enhancing the performance, especially for the larger databases. And second thing is, you can take a multiple types of backups like a full backup, incremental backup, and differential backups. And also you can uh, take that, either you can take a backup on your local, or you can take it as a remote operation. So for example, always recommendation was, so you have to maintain the backrest server as a dedicated server. Don't combine your backup and database on the same machine, because any catastrophic issue or any unfortunately anything happen on your database server, so you may not able to recover the data because of your backrest also resides on the same machine. So that's why that general always recommendation was, you have to keep the uh, backrest server as a dedicated one, and you have to maintain the database backups as well, so which ensure your data available for any such scenarios to handle it. And also you can see that backup integrity, so the checksums are calculated for every file in the backup and verified during the restore or validation process, ensuring that data integrity. Also, the another feature was page checksums validation for the database with a page checksum enabled. pgBackRest validates these checksums during the backup process, helping to detect potential corruption earlier. So when you are initializing the cluster, so that time if you enable that checksums, so that option it can be used for the backup process, and it will help to detection the corruption early as well. And backup resume, so there is a biggest feature. For example, if you are initializing that pg based backup at the cluster level, so due to some network glitch or anything happened, that backup got stopped or interrupted, so you may not continue that. But when you are using the pgBackRest, right, so you can resume the backup from the point of interruption, and it will save the time and resources as well. So another the biggest feature is delta restore. So This feature to accelerate restore operation by only replacing the files that have changed, which is particularly beneficial for the larger database. For example, you have taken a backup around the 10 o'clock, so on 10:05 you have just deleted a one particular table by mistake. So the delta backup, which helps to overtake the scenario. Otherwise, until unless, what you have to do for a where we will perform the PITR, and we have to just remove the clean up the cluster, and we have to initialize that PITR on the cluster. So those things can be handled cleverly handled by PG backrest with the delta restore. The particular file can be we can restore it. And second thing is wall archiving. So the wall archiving provides a dedicated command to wall archiving and retrieval process, parallel and synchronous replication as well. And also you can see that the another feature was uh, that cloud storage. So you can keep that backup in any cloud service provider like AWS S3 bucket or Azure and GCS. So wherever if you configure the repo path, that backup has been maintained on the cloud part. So pgBackRest can encrypted by backup repository to enhance the security, so that you can maintain a multiple repository path as well. So so far we understood so what is a pgBackRest and what are the features are there now. So you have a question, okay, so when I have to choose the pgBackRest, okay. So the first thing is when you have a larger databases, so like for example you have a more than a TB, so that time you can use for the PG backrest to take the incremental and all. So the barman also providing the incremental when you are using the rsync method. So the latest feature of Postgres 17 with incremental, that also supports a need for a flexible backup types. So for example, depends upon the requirement type, you can just go with the one full backup and incremental differential backup. So that kind of things like as a Oracle DB, so you will do, right? So you can just do one Sunday full backup, after that incremental, then later evening you will take a differential. Those kind of things you can do with the PG backrest as well in the Postgres. And also you can see that high performance. So pgBackRest provides a feature like parallel processing and efficient comparison compressions, and make it suitable for like environments like when backup and restore was uh, too much critical. And also you can see the data integrity concern, so it offers the check as in the future I has mentioned, right, that page checks and backup integrity checks. So that kind of also we can do that. And the cloud based deployments, so kind of like you can use that S3, so you can configure the repo, and that repo can be used over there. And like the major thing is, so whenever you are choosing the tool, so that best recommendation is you have to test end to end on your lower environment. So that RPO, because that application behavior, and you have to focus on that, how it works and what kind of data you are using. So everything based on your configuration, everything you have to test, and choose that tool based on your testing result. Okay, that is my one and only recommendation as well. And the thing is installation. So far we seen that what is a PG backrest, and what are the features are there, and when we have to choose. The next step is installation. So the installation we are going to perform on a local Docker setup. So for this testing, I'm just using a Postgres and the Docker container. So initially I will give you the overview what are the things are required. First thing is we have to download that pgBackRest package we have to download, and followed by we have to provide the permissions. Then you have to make some configuration changes at the pgBackRest side as well as the database side. So once these three steps has been completed, so you have to create a stanza. So the stanza is nothing like that. So you are when you are taking a backup, you are dedicatedly allocating a server name, and that all the files, wall files will be present under that thing, right? So same way, when you have a one pgBackRest server, so you have configured a backup for like your staging, pre-pod server and production server. So if you created with the Stanza name, so that Stanza will be maintained under the particular directory. You can see that backup, archives, everything will be under there. Okay, so that is what we required to create a Stanza. And the last point is, so you can perform a various type of backups as well. So these are the things we are going to see one by one in detail. And for your the safer side, so you know, aware about that, I have created already, I have that steps in that my medium article, so which having about the pgBackRest installation. So you already aware, so let's go through that point one by one in detail. So since my container was in running, already installed that postgres postgres pgstl status. So the my steps already covered. So the first thing is, I'm going to just install with pgBackRest only. So let me install the pgBackRest. pgBackRest will be in that pgdg repo, so you have to make sure that repo has been configured properly or not. Okay, so once this package has been installed, so what we have to do, we have to verify that this one using rpm-qa grep, this one. So you can see that it is saying like a pgBackRest along with the version 2.56. so when this article was prepared, that time that it was the version of 2.51. so now we are with the latest version, so we are good that. And next thing is, we required that locate command. So the locate command, what it will do, it will locate that all the configuration things. So for that we have to install this particular package. I'm just copying and executing this one as well. Execute this update db followed by this one. So you can see all that related to the pgBackRest, you can see here. So this is that configuration file, and this is that all the bin path of pgBackRest, and this one. So you have to make sure the permission has been properly provided or not, otherwise it will throw an error. So okay, by one more time I will execute this one. Download this one, permission is done. So the step 3, we are to configure that backrest and database, right? So for that database backrest settings, so you can go this particular file because it is a default one. So here you can see that there was a global and main. Okay, so the global is nothing like that. You can say as mentioned earlier. So if you are maintaining a 3 to 4 stanzas or 3 servers under in the same server, so the main part which is applicable for all the servers. Okay, so this is like dedicated for the server name. So which means, for example, if you are providing a prod, you can stage, so this parameter only applicable for the particular stanza itself. Stanza means nothing like that. So you are providing a name, that name under you can archives, everything will be over there. So you can assume that this is a local variable, this is kind of like a global. So the repo path is nothing like that, where you are keeping the backup. Okay, and the second thing is, if you want to create a multiple path also, you can just provide that another repo to hyphen path, that if you want to provide that s3 or whatever that, then you can provide the repo path as well. Okay, so for example, I want to keep it my full backup in repo 1 and incremental backup should be in repo 2, so that also it is possible. But while executing the command, you have to just to mention that repo path. Okay, so now we have to provide that name, stanza name. So I can say demo. Okay, so once it is done, we can just copy this. Okay, so here actually you can see that path is the uh, typo. So here we are using a 15, right? So it should be 15. So make sure it should be your data directory, because it will go and read your pg control file as well, and your user. So the user, right now I am using a postgres user, that which is my database super user and the port of database. So in case if you want to provide just a dedicated user for only backup, so I don't want to use the super user for a backup, that also possible, I will show in the demo. Okay, so I have created the step 4. So far we done with pgBackRest. So that's also we have to do with the database as well, right? So for that I will just go to the pg data directory. I will do with that postgres.conf. Okay, so here what are the parameters we require? So usually when you are going with that even PG based backup, so you have to enable that archive mode and archive command just with the PG backrest along with the stanza name and the demo name. So here actually we are using PG PG backrest PG backrest demo. Okay, so that you have to be very careful with your name, and make sure you are providing with the inside the single quotes. Okay, and next thing is wall wall level. So the wall level will be replica and max walls under will be by default 10. Okay, so let me restart with the server system ctf status postgresql hyphen 15, so which is running. Just to do restart. So just to verify the status once again. Okay, uh, psql postgres psql show archive underscore command. Okay, pg backrest demo. So just to verify this one, and along with your this one pg backrest demo, pg backrest demo. Okay, fine. Otherwise what will happen when you're creating a stanza, right? At the time it will show a unnecessary error. Okay, so just to make sure that archive mode. So this is fine. So we have to create a stanza. Okay, so what I will do, I will just create a stanza. pg backrest pg backrest demo. So you can see here, if you provided any wrong name, right, so it will throw an error, but we are good with that name. So what happened, the stanza has been created, and along with the repository part, the repository, very well, it was mentioned in the global path. So it picks the repository, and the date, it reads that you can see the configuration. So the log level, which is info by default, and it is required for the database port number and what is the user, and along with your repo path, everything is important over here. So then that based on this detail, that stanza has been created very well. Okay, verify the status. Okay, so you can see that when I have used the check command, right, so the check command will provide you that it started doing that archivables. I have used over here hyphen log level, just to use for that check, and also you can alternatively use it directly check as well. Okay, so the check won't provide any information. So if you provide that log line and all, so it will provide the detailed information of everything. So you can say here the check command will provide you all the details, right? So you can see that repo and archival and what was the wall segment, everything will be shown in your message. Okay, that's why we are using a log level console equal to info. Okay, so the stanza creation we done. And let me clear the screen. So in case you want to stop the stanza, you can use stop as well. So here you can see that stanza has been stopped completely. So if I execute the check, so right now I have just done the stop and I am performing the check command. So previously it was showing that check command was the start will show that everything has been completed successfully along with that uh, so here it says, you can see that run the start command, it was stopped already. So the check command, which is very much important, so it will ensure the status of your stanza. So always whenever you are facing any issue, right, so you can just rely on the check command and verify the status always. Okay, now you can start the stanza as well. So now you can verify the status check once again. So it is saying completed successfully. So okay, let's perform a backup. Okay, so the backup thing is, you can just create, if you want to perform, just use that the same thing at the end, you can use backup. Okay, so I will go over here, the same thing, nothing we can change. If you use backup, so it will start picking the your backup. Okay, so archive logs. So here you can see, until unless if you are setting that retention policy, the archive will not be expired. So that is a information it is providing. And also you can see that the backup was completed and what is the label as well. So this we can see in that info command. Info command will provide you what is the full backup, what is the things, so and what was that starting wall point and everything we can see. Okay, just a second. So that info of backup differential, uh, just if you use the info, it will provide you all the details. Okay, instead of here, just use the info. So here the info, okay, that info is saying there was a full backup, this is the tag of full backup. Okay, so the full backup, what is the start wall point, okay, and this is my end of the wall file. Okay, so this is the 1313. In case if during the changes anything happen, that info will also say, and it will show that database backup size as well as when is the start point and end point as well. Okay, now let's perform a one more time backup. So what it will happen? Okay, so again you can see here, so you can see the beauty of over here. So when I have performed a just a backup, okay, it was capturing a retention full, where just a second, so let me minimize. So wait a second, so here it was saying somewhere it was a full backup, right? See, it was saying a full backup, this was thing. Okay, so you can read the message. When you are just executing it the first time, it is taking as a full backup. Okay, but when I use the same thing, okay, you can see here it automatically picks the incremental backup. So that is the beauty. That's what in the beginning I have compared that pgBackRest with the rmet. Okay, so this is that future you can see. And also you can verify the details with info command as well. So in the info command you can see that under the stanza the status is okay. So here you can see that this is the full backup of uh, full backup tag. So followed by full backup, you can see that incremental tag also, which means this incremental is belongs to this tag. So that's what in that tag you can say f, and the end of it you can see that I. Okay, so okay, so you may ask like, okay, fine, so every time if I'm using the backup, it will take a full and increment. What if I want to take a intentional full backup? Intentionally I want to take a incremental backup, name called hyphen hyphen type. So if you are using a type equal to full, then it will be take a full backup. So if you are using a type equal to incr, which means it's considered as a incremental. If you are using a diff, it will consider as a differential backup. Okay, so first thing we can take another full backup one more time. So we can go to that same, just add full. So wait for some time, it is saying a full backup. Okay, so if we can verify the same with the info. So info, you can see here, this is our first full backup. This is our followed by incremental backup. So now I have taken one more full backup. It is showing a F, which means that full backup along with that start and everything is there. Okay, now let me do that incremental. So you can see here that incremental also will showing the same. Okay, so I'm just executing that. So you can see here, so initially I have a one more full back, one first time I have taken a full backup, followed by incremental backup is there. Then I have a one more full backup, and that when I've executed the incremental, so which relies on this particular latest full backup only, and it was saying I am an incremental. Okay, so what if I am going to do with the diff? Diff means it's a differential backup. Okay, so you can see that diff backup size, so which is uh, 1 or 2 KB. So incremental was previously size was similar like 101 KB. Okay, that at backup size, this is the database size. So full backup was almost taking that same thing. Okay, and you can see that info command. Let me clear that. So let's execute that. So you can see here, so this is my latest full backup. So latest full backup followed by incremental backup. Okay, so on that latest full backup with the differential backup, I can see that the tag was D. Okay, so this is how you can read that by using the tag. You can understand very easily. So what is a full backup? This backup is belongs to what is the incremental, and this differential is belongs to which full backup. So all the details you are able to see with the info command as well. Okay, so these details has been there. And also if you want to delete the stanza, okay, so the delete stanza, you have to provide that repo path and log level. So this is, I have used a dedicated user dedicated user for a pgBackRest. So what are the things I have to do that? Okay, so let's focus on that point. Okay, sorry, I am already in that Postgres only. Let me clear the screen, just executing the PSQL. Okay, so let me create a username called pgBackRest underscore backup. Okay, so this is my backup user, and login, replication, password. So I can say some 1 2 3. See, I am using for a demo purpose. Don't use the similar way. So make sure according to your uh, company policy, you have to provide that password strengthening. Otherwise, it would be a problem. So let me assign that some of the privileges, because which requires the detail of all the things. PG read all settings to this particular user. Okay, and also I have to provide one more thing, uh, execute execute on function pg underscore create. This is the by default function, so you have to provide that execute function as well. And one more thing, grand execute on function which allow me to pg switch underscore wall to pg this particular user. Okay, and one more thing, yes, grant of text boolean to, and okay, sorry, typo error, grant execute boolean to so you will get this error. Okay, why you are getting this error? Okay, so you can use, let us try with the pg catalog as well. I believe it will throw an error. Yes, so why we are getting it, I will show you. Okay, so it should be arg. So you can see here, what is that, pg backup start and pg backup start. Before 14 I guess it was like a pg start backup, so now the function has been changed, backup start, so we have to execute the function according to that. Okay, so here start. Okay, so you can see here, this is that, so it was done. It should be boolean, right? Sorry, boolean. Okay, so so far what we have done, so I have created one more user. Okay, so the username is pgBackRest backup, because I want to use the dedicated user to perform my backup and restoration. So I provided all the necessary privileges to the particular user in order to use the uh, database super user. Okay, so next thing is we have to edit the etc file, etc pgBackRest. So you can just copy this name. So I will just comment this one, pg one user equal to. So once you done, switch back into Postgres, try verify with the check command, so which is showing a successful. Let's perform a backup. Okay, what will happen, whether it is going to successful or not. So you can see here, after I provided everything, right, so with the retention full, the same thing which is expected, because we didn't mention that retention and all. So it is saying like you may face that out of space. So depends on your thing, you can mention it this value, so how many type of retention you want to count. So for you, if you want to, you can just verify this one. So how many types, full how many types, or you can just add this value. Okay, so uh, just report attention is like you can keep one or two. So for this demo, I have just made that. So you can set the values uh, according to your requirement using if in case uh, just a second, I have already written a document. Yes, so how to combine a pgBackRest along with this replication. So for that I have just what I did, I just created a one server with the primary and standby server. So the goal is I want to just to take the backup of my standby side, because every time if you are executing this one, so it is going to give you more pressure point. And also make sure since my pgBackRest and database in the same server, so which does not require any SSH connectivity, but when you are using a like a dedicated machines which requires that SSH connectivity is very much important. And also you have to perform everything, and when you are performing the same thing from your standby side, right, so you have to verify that uh, hyphen backup equal to standby, which means you are taking a backup from the standby. So if you have to use this tag, so if you use this tag and you have to maintain the same configuration, so it will take a allow to take a backup from your standby side. So I hope you are clear with this pgBackRest thing. So if you required any other thing, please reach out to me. Thank you for watching.